Dear friends, today we will learn about Colocasia. The Colocasia, botanically, it is known as a Colocasia esculenta. It is a tuber rhizome crop and belonging to the family Ericaceae. It is also locally known as a Arbi or Guia in North India and Kachu in northeastern part of the India and Patra in Gujarat. Because leaf has been consumed in Gujarat as a food, that's why it is known as a patra. Now we will discuss the diseases of colocasia. Among all diseases of colocasia, the leaf blight is a serious disease and causing immense losses in yield as well as quality. The use of this crop Arbi or colocasia are used as a cooked vegetable. You can see here, and then patra in Gujarat used with the besan or with the chickpea flour as a delicacy. Then this vegetable suffer from the disease that is known as a Phytophthora blight. The causal organism of this disease is Phytophthora colocasia. It is a oocyte group fungus, and you can observe here the sporangia of this fungus. These are filled with zoospore, and other one is germinated or empty. Zoospore released from the field. So then we'll learn about the phylogenetic tree, or you can say the taxonomical tree of this pathogen. So let me start. Domain Eukaryota, then kingdom Chromista, phylum Umycota, class Umycetes, order Peronosporals. There is different pathogen in Peronosporals, including downy mildews and white rust. Then next one is family Peronosporaceae, and finally the genus Phytophthora. The species is not specified because the name of species will be taken from the horse or the other thing. So it is not a fixed thing. Next, we will start with the symptom of this disease. Dear friends, the symptoms of this disease on leaves uh, initially occurs where water droplets accumulate and eventually form small brown spots surrounded by halo on the upper surface of the leaf. These are the initial symptoms. You can observe here. These are the initial symptoms on leaf. Then these spots expand very quickly and form large brown lesions. This is the large brown lesions you can observe in this leaf surface. The entire leaf can be destroyed within a few days of the initial appearance of symptoms under right conditions. The underside of the leaves have a spot that look water soaked. You can observe here water soaked spot underside the leaf and expand very quickly when there is a favorable environment. Symptoms occur in day nights pattern where water soaked area expand during the night, then dry out during the day. As a result, additional watermarks can be found on this leaf surface. Next, then, as the lesion expand, sporangia develop more actively at the margin of lesions and progress to attack healthy tissues. It means there is secondary spread from the previously produced spore. One character features found on leaves in the formation of bright orange droplet oozing out from above and below water-soaked leaves. You can observe here water-soaked lesions. Then, as a result, the droplets become dry and become crusty later on when there is dry environment. Another sign of Phytophthora colocacea infection in the plant of colicaceae are of sporangia that form a white powdery ring around the spore. You can observe slightly here. This is the white powdery ring of. It means there is a sporangia and sporangia 4 and sporangia is there. Then symptoms on petioles include gray to brown black. Lesion can occur anywhere on the petioles, become dark and break as the pathogen destroy the host. Then symptoms on combs are often seen. There is a rubber-like soft spots produced on the rhizomes. Then rhizomes finally decayed due to the infection of this Phytophthora colicaceae, as it is in the case of early blight of, you can say late blight of potato, where the potato tuber can destroy due to the infection of Phytophthora infestan. While in this case, the corms of this colocasia crop has been will be destroyed due to the heavy infection of this Phytophthora infestans. The rate of spread of this disease is very fast when there is intermittent rain and cloudy weather. So the disease is very spread very fast and destroy whole of the crop. Then you can see this is the field view. You can observe here the symptoms on leaves, and they are completely dried leaf, completely destroyed leaf. You can observe here. Then we will talk about the disease cycle. What is disease cycle? Generally, we'll talk about the disease cycle, or you can say uh, life cycle of the pathogen. What is difference between disease cycle and life cycle of the pathogen? The life cycle of pathogen generally refer to where individual pathogen can reproduce and produce young offspring. While in case of disease cycle, it is a cycle where pathogen, how a pathogen carry forward from one season to other season when there is no host crop. So there is certain means, certain structures which remain viable in the off season that provide the continuity to the infection from one season to other season. Phytophthora colocaceae is an oomycetes fungus and is thus characterized as a oospore or ciliated hyphae. Sorry. Oospore have very thick wall which provide durable survival structure. As a result, oospore overwinter in soil, underground storage or organs, or in leaf debris left in the field after harvest. However, inoculum does not survive for long, very long period in the leaf. While you can observe here the disease cycle, the pathogen, this pathogen, Phytophthora produce oospore by it produce two type of mycelia, that is A1 and A2, or you can say two type of two mating type, female and male type. Then Antheridia is a male organs and Oogonia is a female organs. When they fuse together and produce thick wall oospore that can survive in the off. When there is a season and crop is there, by the root exudates stimulus of root exudates of crop. These juice will germinate and produce sporangia. That sporangia infect the plant and by releasing juice spore germinate and infect plant and enter to the plant through stomata. Then primary produce spore transferred to the other healthy leaves, they produce symptom on that leaf also. Generally, the conidia produce on the leaf tip, at the edge of the leaf, and spread through rain splash, wind-borne rains can spread this conidia from one plant to other plant and from one tree. Let's discuss management of this disease. When you think about the management of any of the disease, you will think about the survival of the pathogen in the absence of host and the means by which the pathogen into the your feed. By avoiding these two things, we can manage the disease or reduce the yield losses caused by the pathogen. First one is this pathogen can survive through the combs of the crop. So first of all, when the combs carried from sources to plant the crop, they should be hot water treated. By hot water treatment, you can use 50 degrees Celsius hot water for 10 minutes can sufficient to kill the inside pathogen in the crops. Then you can see here fallow. You can fallow the land for 1 to 2 years can lead to destroy the pathogen remaining in the soil on infected debris. Then planting should be isolated, not in a one page. There is two, three, four different pages. If one page is affected by the pathogen, the other one is maybe the safe. So by this using this practice, we can say the E. Prepare the soil well. You can see here. Prepare the soil well and amend it before planting if calcium, magnesium, or phosphorus are needed. Add these micronutrients for balanced nutrition. Monitor plant calcium level by leaf analysis and maintain calcium at recommended. It is quite necessary because the deficiency of these micronutrients can lead to severe disease in the plant. And one thing is important is that the acidic pH favor the disease. So when there is acidic pH in the soil, add lime material before planting to raise soil pH 6 to 6.8. Then very important thing because it is also soil borne, remain in the combs in the field. So crop rotation by non-host crop, 2 to 3 year crop rotation is quite necessary to reduce the initial primary inoculum level in the field. Incorporate compare compost and apply surface mulch. The application of compost is quite necessary because the organic matter when you added in the soil, that organic matter increase the population of biocontrol agent or beneficial microorganism remain in the soil. They compete with the pathogen with different way like competition for space and nutrition, mycoparasitism, antibiosis. These are all some of the mechanisms by which biocontrol agent remain in the soil, increase in the number and reduce the population of pathogen in the soil. And finally, you observe some of the plant initially, rogue them out and destroy from safe place. Then use of field resistant variety. Till now, there is no variety completely resistance found, completely resistant found, but two varieties of this crop, Mokakesi and Jankari, found field resistant. It resists the pathogen infection in some way and maintain the yield level. Early planting to avoid heavy monsoon rain. The planting time very important for avoiding the disease incidence. We know there is a disease triangle, favorable environment, susceptible host, and virulent pathogen. If we are able to break this triangle, then we can manage the disease. By for breaking this triangle, we can avoid the planting, early planting, avoid heavy monsoon rain because monsoon rain favor the disease. Then use of healthy planting material. It is very important because pathogen can, this planting material can carry the pathogen and it enter to your field through this cork. Then removal of self-grown colocasia plant because pathogen can survive in that plant also. Then spray with fungicide, that is Mancozeb 0.2% or Redomil MZ 72% at the rate of 2 gram of water. And seed treatment, here you can seed treatment is very, or planting material treatment is very important because this planting material can carry the pathogen. So treated seed tubers with biocontrol agent or Redomil MZ, or you can say the Apron 35 ST. This metalaxyl fungicide is quite effective against this peronosporals or spray fungicide by this way. And thank you friends. Have any question? Then we will discuss. Thank you.